On the surface, she was cute, but beneath that, she was half demon. This is the story about how I spent one night with a half Japanese woman inside of a millionaire's mansion party in Tokyo, and things went really wrong. I was invited by this guy. At the time, he was a teacher who taught men the unspoken rules of dating in Japan.
Yeah, let's try to talk to this girl right here. Because you're quite tall, right? And intimidating. And so like on the small street, you might want to give him a little more space, get in front a little bit more.
And in 2019, I was one of his recent graduates. And if you're interested, click the link down below. That night, he was throwing a house party. The goal was simple, to invite Japanese millionaires to party with women, which are not uncommon in Japan. They're called hostess clubs. I was there to film it, capture the vibe, to create a trailer that would attract even more wealthy clients.
Look at me ballin'. Look at me ballin'.
There was food, games, hammocks for some reason, 4 floors, 8 rooms, and filled to the brim with women. The man who ran the house, though, was a real estate guy who looked like Phil from The Hangover. You remember him? And when I first met him, he had no shirt on and a girl on each arm. There was a jacuzzi in the basement, things were happening upstairs, and people came and went all night. Then she walked in.
That's my cue.
There was something different about her. Unlike the quiet, reserved girls floating around the room, she was loud, confident, and tattoos flowing all the way down her leg. Her best friend was a black woman, total opposite of her, shy and reserved.
Girl, can we leave now? No. Can we leave soon?
She was half Japanese, half Latina, and carried herself like she knew exactly who she was. And I didn't know it yet, but she would be the one who gravitated towards me. We talked a few times during the night, nothing serious, but about 1 a.m., she leaned in towards me and said, "These other guys don't get it." I had no idea what she was talking about until she put her hand on my leg, and it clicked. She likes me. Now I can count on one hand how many times a girl has hit on me first, and usually I realize it 6 months later. But because of my training, I knew it instantly. And when a woman likes you, for whatever reason, there is one rule. Don't it up. Whatever illusion she has in her head that she made up about you, don't break it. Let her maintain. Now this is where guys mess up. They don't know what version she's imagining. So I took this to the extreme. I didn't say anything. And every time she asked me a question, I turned in the Barry White.
So, what do you want to do?
And then I tossed the question right back at her like I cared about whatever was coming out of her mouth. My Japanese was really trash back then, but I knew one thing. When a sentence ended in ka, that's a universal Japanese sign for question mark. So I listened for ka, nodded and smiled, and said,
Well, here I am, baby. Practice what you...
We played a game for about an hour between me working and her pretending not to flirt with me, before she walked up to me and whispered, So we went downstairs. A few people were still hanging out downstairs, drunk, laughing, barely standing, but they cleared out eventually. She bought a massive bottle of rum with her and downed it like it was f***ing water.
Are you gonna be alright?
That's when I started thinking maybe the other half isn't Latina. It's a deep, because the look in her eyes after she downed that bottle had me wondering if I was about to get sacrificed. She wanted another, so she headed right back upstairs and told me to stay right here. I saw my ex-teacher and asked him if he had a duck. He tossed me one. He said, if you're going to use it, use that room over there. She came back down and Asian squatted on my lap. I put my hands around her and she said, not so fast. I want this to be the best night ever. And I asked, what does that mean? Then she said, do you want some Coke? I said, I don't think they have any, but there's a Pepsi machine right down the street. She blinked and then said, you're so fucking funny. I'm going to call my contact. At this point, I was fiending for it, but I was not stupid. I told her, you should probably ask the house owner, someone who threw the party, before you actually invite somebody over like that. She said, good idea. He is a Yakuza member, after all. I knew then that shit was about to go completely south, and I prepared for the worst. She began to stumble upstairs to go ask somebody if a Yakuza member can come over and provide people with an illegal substance. A minute later, I hear from upstairs yelling, bottles breaking, shit going sideways. But that wasn't the end of it. She came back downstairs pissed, upset, mad. She said it was unfair and they were just mad because she didn't want to fuck them and she chose me. She said they were eyeing her the whole night and she didn't give them any play. I thought to myself, they're men, they're eyeing all the women all night. And yeah, they probably did try, but that has nothing to do with you inviting someone over to get us all caught up. She then stomped upstairs and proceeded to totally crash out. She took a bottle of alcohol and dumped it all in the guy's Yeezy shoe collection. Yeah, I can't make this shit up. This is what really happened. They kicked her out, but it didn't end there. Not even an hour later, the police knocked at the door. They asked about a missing little girl. People think that she called the police and reported a fake crime. They took all our IDs. I thought I was getting kicked out of Japan. All my hard work of getting here, struggling, building a life for myself, ruined because of one half Latino, half Japanese chick. A bunch of people, for obvious reasons, didn't want to give the IDs. They refused. They left the house. Some people hid on the roof. I ended up giving my ID, but nothing ended up happening. And I got to renew my visa last year. I crashed out there that night. And when I woke up, I was stepping over men in business suits and half-naked women. I didn't get her Instagram or her number or her line or anything like that. But if I had it, I'd call her.